Today we're tapping into your adventurous side and encouraging you to try a new food. It's easy enough for anyone to make, it doesn't cost much, and you can customize it for anyone in your family. We have registered dietitian Cristina, that's a beautiful name, from King Soopers. You're joining us with a very traditional Latin recipe, and you have some Latin roots yourself, don't you?
That is true, that's true. Well, my father's from Colombia, my mom is from Honduras. So
beautiful.
This recipe was inspired by two of my passions, that is getting kids in the kitchen, cooking with you, and also Latin American cooking.
Super fun. And
yes.
what are you, we've been practicing it all morning long. Pupusas?
That's right, you got it, Pupusas.
Pupusas. Awesome, this is, we're gonna make these. I've never eaten one, I've never made one, so I'm super stoked.
Great, well let's get started.
Okay.
So first we're gonna start on a topping that's really typical for pupusas, but I've added a little bit of a twist. So this is our massage cabbage salad. I started with about a cup of red cabbage. You could do green cabbage too. I just like the extra color.
Yeah. Did you say this is massaged?
It is massaged. So you'll see my technique.
Never had massage cabbage.
It's a little bit stressed. We want to kind of just take down the stress a little bit.
We're gonna de-stress the
exactly. So what I'm doing is I put about a tablespoon of oil. I tend to use olive or canola.
Okay.
And then I'm going to juice about half a lime. Lemon works just as well.
Nice.
So squeeze that right in there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Fresh lime juice.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my hands right in there. And
you really are. You want some help?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Let's massage this.
So what we're doing here is we're just breaking down the cellulose, and we're going to make it a little bit softer and a little bit easier to kind of take down.
Fun.
So
that's awesome.
You can do this with any type of hardy leafy green like kale and collards. It works really well for that
Talk
too.
about getting the kids involved.
Exactly.
They love to dive into
and that's why this recipe is so kid friendly, because kids really love getting in and getting their hands a little bit dirty. I have a towel over there if you'd like to
Latin
use it.
music here too.
Exactly. So now we're going to get started on the main focus of this dish, and these are the pupusas. So what I have started here is it's called masa harina.
Okay.
So this is basically the same dough that you would use if you're making corn tortillas.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about the size of, I would say, maybe a child's fist. Okay. And I'm going to start by flattening it out. Okay.
Nice. This is fun.
Yeah.
Another fun thing for the kids.
Exactly. So then we're going to go with our fillings. The first filling I have is about one bunch of kale with some garlic and onions and a can of black beans. Okay.
Ooh, wow.
So I take just use your hands. This is all very tactile.
Oh, so you're putting it in the middle.
Right in the middle,
this is very smart of you to hide it in the middle.
Exactly. Exactly. So no one knows that you have a really healthy filling in there.
Okay.
I have some mozzarella cheese. I'm going to put right into the center, and in addition to that, my favorite cheese in the whole world, queso fresco. It's really light, it's milky, it's salty, but not too overly flavorful.
Right.
So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold everything to the center.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to hide everything.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. And
this is where your experience really comes in,
and that's okay if it's messy, because you know, when it goes onto the grill, all the cheese melts out and it gets crusty, and it's really delicious.
Wow.
So really being
so
perfect
fun.
is not important. Okay. So you're just kind of
done it.
There you go. That's beautiful. Really nice.
Sweet.
Okay. So flatten it out again. And we have a griddle top over here. You could also do it on the stovetop, lightly oiled and about medium to high heat.
Okay.
So I'm going to press that right on there, and probably 8 minutes on each side is about all you need.
That's awesome.
And by the magic of TV, we have some that are already
you've
prepared.
already made some for us.
So then we can plate these up, and I'm actually going to cut it in half really fast.
Okay. I'll get that out of the way so
Lovely.
you can see it.
And you can see this beautiful melty filling.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
There you go. And the way that I like to serve mine is with my cabbage salad right on the side.
Oh my goodness.
I have some Greek yogurt, a wedge of lime, and some avocado, because
a little
who
bit of
doesn't
avocado
love
there.
avocado, right?
That is gorgeous. And
Isn't it beautiful?
You know, not only is it pretty, it looks healthy, but the real trick is how it tastes.
Exactly.
Right?
Please go for it. Dive right in.
I can't wait, Cristina. Here we go.
The great thing about this is it's naturally gluten-free, and you can play with all the fillings. I put Swiss chard in there. You can do meat if you want, any kind of cheese. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, now I'm just going to dance.
Yeah, pretty tasty,
That's
right?
Awesome.
Yeah. You could also do some fresh cilantro on top. The possibilities are totally endless.
You rock.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's a great Latin dish. It's from El Salvador.
That's right.
Pupusas.
You got it.
Just made pupusas.
Right.
That's just awesome. So we want to tell you can get great nutritional advice just like you got here this morning. Just send an email to dietitians@kingsoopers.com. You can also find great information in all the locations near you at kingsoopers.com. You can also call them 303-778-3023. And as always, we will have today's recipes on our website. It'll be up there later, coloradosbest.tv. You're going to love these. Thank you so much, Cristina.
Thank you, Paula.